Not all UN Security Council members are seeing eye to eye on dealing with North Korea's latest missile launch. During an emergency meeting held, the U.S. vowed stronger sanctions on the North while also stating the possibility of using military force if needed. But China and Russia pressed the need for dialogue. We start with Arirang's Joonhee.
Nikki Haley, the American ambassador to the UN, warned the risk of military conflict with North Korea has grown following the regime's ICBM launch. Haley said Tuesday's test was a clear and sharp military escalation and that Pyongyang could be headed down a dangerous path with the U.S.
Their actions are quickly closing off the possibility of a diplomatic solution. The United States is prepared to use the full range of our capabilities to defend ourselves and our allies. One of our capabilities lies with our considerable military forces. We will use them if we must, but we prefer not to have to go in that direction.
Haley said the U.S. would propose new UN sanctions aimed at North Korea and called for international unity and cooperation. Cutting off the regime's sources of hard currency and important commodities such as oil were identified as key targets in stopping the country's weapons programs. She added the U.S. would also go after countries that have been undermining UN sanctions and providing economic lifelines to the North. China was mentioned in particular as it accounts for 90% of North Korea's trade volume, underscoring Beijing's significant leverage to influence Pyongyang. Haley warned the U.S. would curb trade relations with countries that continue to do business with the North. China and Russia, however, have been pushing an alternate solution, asking the U.S. to embrace their so-called double suspension plan. The proposal calls for mutual de-escalation by both sides, where North Korea would freeze its weapons programs, while Washington and Seoul would stop holding joint military drills. Russia, while condemning Pyongyang's missile launch, said it opposed the adoption of further sanctions or any use of military force. Joonhee, Arirang News.